We're going to start the recording. So I'm recording now. Alrighty. So let's get started from the beginning. Well, let me even say this first, is I'm going to go through the digital signage stuff first because it's primarily for a lot of the digital signage people. But I also have a WordPress version of it, and I'm going to go through it also, which some of them have that too. So this might help, might be more interesting to you guys on the WordPress side, but I think you ought to look at this anyway because this makes a lot of people a lot of money. Anyway, so let me let you understand about this digital signage thing. Back in 2000, let me see, when it was it? 2004 or 5. Um, I had actually lost a lot of money, millions of dollars through Enron stuff. I went homeless actually after losing my homes, cars, and divorce and all that kind of stuff. And while I was depressed for about a year, after getting out of that depression, I came up with this digital signage stuff after seeing the TV in the barbershop. And I thought, hey, I could do that, and maybe I can make some money off of it. So I wrote the software, and it used to be called A to Z Mini Billboards. And about a year, maybe after a few years of fooling around with it, I changed it to digital advertising media because it was a much better way to market, because I could say those damn ads and that damn system and making that damn money for digital advertising media for the DAM part. Anyway, it's more of a marketing issue. Anyway, so zooming forward, what started out to be something that was going to make me a little bit of money now is all over the United States in about 35 or 40 states and 4 countries. And people are making money off of their little billboard networks left and right. Okay, and this is really a not-for-profit business. I don't pay myself. I also don't hurt myself. So it pays for itself. I don't make money off of it because I did it, for people to have jobs when it was coming out. I should have rethought that back in the days. You know how that works. Anyway, so what you have are 2 pieces. You have what's called an ad server, which is a little microcomputer based on Windows, as Windows operating system. I picked that because I can always get that. Plus, I didn't write code for Android, which I would have maybe preferred because it would have been cheaper. But now the machines are just as cheap. So a good thing I can write for Windows. So you have that little piece, which I call the ad server. And then you have the software that you use on your desktop to control those systems. And then you also have a website that you go to that can control your ads. So there's sort of 3 little parts. Then there's a 4th iteration, which is the WordPress version of this. Not as powerful, but it will work, and it will work on any system that can display a URL. Okay, so literally you can just have a smart TV with a web browser, stick it in an office, connect to the internet, point that smart TV's browser to a URL that the WordPress creates, and it becomes a controllable billboard system that you can control from home or from anywhere in the world that you have the internet right from your WordPress site. Okay, any questions on that so far? All right, good. All right, so let's get started. First off, when people get these systems, there's 2 ways they do it. They either order them from me, which I pre-program and set up their networks and all that kind of stuff, and they basically just turn it on, connect it to a TV, size it to their screen, and start making ads. The second way is they buy their own PCs, however way they get them, used, whatever, I don't care. They download my software and then they activate it for $50 one time. So I set up their servers, and then they go and do the same thing, but they've saved money because they bought their own. They just have to do their own labor to set up the machine. So I'm going to show you first. I'm going to assume that the Windows is already installed in a system. Okay. And if you hear my dad, he yells when he's on the phone. He's like 3 rooms away. Anyway, so I'm going to show you as if your machine was already installed with Windows and you need to install the software. Now, I already have it on here, but I'm going to go through the motions. This is for people who are already in it or thinking about it. So I go to the internet, Oh, I like that. Oh, it's working now. Nope, I sure cannot see the browser. That's so weird. I gotta change something here. Why does it not put the whole browser in the screen? Here we go. We do it like this. Oh man, it changed again. It won't stay under the, what the
I
heck?
see the whole browser on my screen.
Yeah, but I can't get to the buttons. See where it's like, let's see. Okay, I can leave it like this. You see right here, I couldn't get to this where I could close or change anything. Let me move this. And I don't understand. See, this is new. I teach classes every week, all week long, and they've changed the top of the screen. Let me see if I can hide the floating controls. That doesn't that doesn't help me. Well, hold on for a second. Um, oh, I really hate this. No, not too much I can do about it. So we just have to keep it this way. All right. So first off, you go to the website, which is digitaladvertisingmedia.com. That's where I got the DAM from. See, DAM. And let's say you had your own computer, or I call them ad server because it's all it does is serve ads. We go to software downloads, and the first thing you do is install the live setup on the ad server. Okay, and I'm not going to go through the motions, just download and install. And you also install VLC, which is a like a video system that's open source. And I'll show you the icon for it. It's a real good player. This is VLC. Okay, and I figured out how to embed that into my own code, so I don't have to write it. And what just happened to my browser? Okay, all right. I really hate what they've done now. Then you also at your desktop, or whatever you're going to control your system with, you install the desktop control panel software. That's an independent software that runs at your home, so you can, maintain and control the systems, more of their setup. And then there's a third thing, which is the website itself, which is based off the original because it's been up for a while. This website, which is A-to-Z-Billboard/host, that's where you go to your account and you upload your ads. And I'm going to be using all these. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'll be using all these, while we do this. All right, so I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to assume or act as if I've installed the ad server software. Okay. And we're running the ad server for the first time, which would be uh, this guy, I think. Nope, that's not it. Where is it at? There we go. Now all I'm doing is just updating. Normally it's another icon, but it would come up automatically. Since this is my desktop or my laptop, I've disabled that. So I'm going to make it start up while I'm already running. So basically you set it up so when the power turns on, it automatically goes and becomes a billboard system. And you'll see it coming up right now. All right, so let's just let it connect for a bit. You hear my dad, right? All right, so normally when you first get a system, it's connected to some screen. Notice how it resized itself like that? But normally when you put it on your machine, put your machine on your screen, it's gonna be some weird size. So what I've done is I've made it so that you can control, without setting any resolutions or things, you can control the sizing. So if we hold the shift key in the left, it'll back itself up to its tiniest format. And if we go shift right, we can stretch it. If we hold the R, shift R is what I mean, but if you hold the R without a shift, it moves one pixel at a time. Go to Shift and the R, it'll move 10 pixels at a time. And then I just sort of get it to the right size that way. And then the U and the D key is for going up and down. I made it really simple. So I'm going to now stretch it down. Okay. And then there's a little trick. If you hit the H key, it shows you some settings. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but you can see there's some little white writing. It's really tiny. It's like that on purpose. And if you turn that on while you're trying to size the screen, it goes away every 15 seconds when the ads update. You can sort of, you know, tune in the size of your screen. I just take it to the bottom of the page and then that's about it. Oh, now what I did was I just killed it by hitting the wrong button. Let me open it up again the easy way. This is where it literally resides. And it is this guy. And I didn't save the software, but normally you would have hit S for save and it would save your screen size. But this has to be done for every system that you install because Windows remembers the displays. So if you pull that ad server out of one display, whether it be a TV HDMI port or a monitor's HDMI port, it remembers it and it will not have the sizing. But as you move them around, it will remember. But normally you have it on one and maybe a monitor goes out or something, you put it back in, you have to resize it. So you don't have to do that once. Notice that this is now size, it's a little bit short. So let me make it go down. Let's see here. And let me just do what I was going to do earlier. And we hit the S key. And we just save it. So now to remember this size from now on, okay? And so now what we're looking at is a working billboard system, okay? It might not be as low as it should be. Let me see. I hit the H, yeah, it's real high. So let me go down some more. There we go. Now let's save it. So that's about where it should be. And what you see is on the left side over here, you'll see the bigger ad that's called the display area. And on the right side, you see the sponsor area. And then the stuff at the very bottom is your scrolling area for call to action and maybe your branding where it says sponsored by here. Now, how I use it, which is anybody can use it their own way. I made it, I mean, it's your business. So I made it such that I put these systems in and I will sell the right side to a person as a sponsor. And I sell it to them for the price of what it cost me to install it. So let's say it cost me $500 to install this thing with the monitor mount and all that kind of stuff. And I'll charge them $500 for a year or for 6 months as a sponsor. Their ads will stay on the right-hand side and some in the left-hand side, but their name will go here and say sponsored by so-and-so. So they get the main branding advertisement per se, but they pay for the hardware. So basically the system costs you nothing if you do it that way. And that's how it was designed years ago, actually by one of my partners. So anyway, what you see now is a working display. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can run this still and bring up the other software. See if I can do that at the same time. Might be a little difficult because I'm running it on the same screen. Let me see here. It's under here. Don't see it there. All right, let me just go to I know where it literally resides, so I can run it that way. All right, this would be the software that you'd have on your desktop. Now, normally you wouldn't have the billboard system and the control panel on the same system. The billboard would be like, you know, somewhere in some, I don't know. I'm actually finding really good places with laundromats myself. The kind that close a certain time, they have like an attendant because you don't want one that's unattended and it's still a screen off the wall. But They really work real well, actually. But let's say we have the ad server running its ads over at the local laundromat in your home, and this is what you'd be fooling with, is this software right here, okay? Now, each one of these machines is connected to a network, and how that network works is it's the name of your PC. So you rename the PC to a certain thing slash or hyphen 01 through 99, and that's how I can connect to these machines. So this one I know is a master. So I'll log in here to master. And I know this machine I think is number 5. So notice it defaults to 1, but it is 5. And the way you can tell that is if I hit the H key right here, let me see if I can do that without, let me see if I can minimize this. If I hit H, see right there at the very bottom left-hand corner, it says master 5. That's telling me what this machine is, okay? So let me run this back again. It'll be bouncing back and forth. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to 5. There's 2 ways to sync to the machine. If you sync to the list, it just shows you what's in there and it really doesn't download anything and you can't really do anything with the files, but it's real fast. If you sync to the ads, then it'll pull the ads down and you can touch them and show them in these screens. But I'm going to sync just to the list. All right, so let's just wait a second. And you'll see it's pulling stuff from the server as we speak. And eventually it's going to say sync complete, and it is. Now what it's showing you are the files that are available on that server, on that ad server. And it's showing you, and this is something old. Back in the days, I used to have different types of ads by putting certain names. When you name an ad, it can do certain things. Okay, that's the first thing. And some of these names started with things like A, S, V, T, N, and P. Well, back in the days when I first started this, that would have been for A to Z mini billboards, stuff that I would have sent out through the system. I don't do that anymore. This S would be for sponsor. The V would be for video. The T would be for temporary or trial. N would be for nonprofit, and P would be for PSAs. The reason why I put those on there is because when you make an ad with that name, it will show up in this corner when it's showing up on the screen in the left corner where it says, like where it says sponsored by here. If you go all the way to the left, a little letter would come up. I put that there because a lot of people were sharing their ad space or sharing their ad revenue with the location. And the first thing they'll do is they'll just count your ads. They don't know their trial ads or their ads you didn't get money for, or something you just did for the church or police department, whatever. So I made it so if you put those prefixes on them, it would come up and it would show that these ads are special ads. You don't get paid from those. Okay. You can break in anytime, by the way, because I've been doing this so long. So if I'm going too fast, just let me know. So that's what this area is. So when you pull these in, if any of those had those prefixes, it would count those up right here. Anything without that kind of prefix would show up over here where it says standard ad equals in 7. Okay, and it doesn't count the GIF files. GIF files show up over here in the sponsor area, or GIF, by the way, and JPEGs show up over in this area. Now, I'm going to work through the desktop control panel area, and then I'll tell you about how things work. So that was a sync list, and it's showing you what the software version was. If this is out of date, if this turns red, you could literally hit this button and it would update the software on the ad server remotely. It would download the new thing, reboot, and start over again, and you don't have to go down there. This right here where it says last update okay, it's still blue. It means that the system has checked in within the hour, okay? If it has not, then what will happen is that would turn red, and that time would be off, okay? That way it's sort of like a heartbeat. You're making sure that it's still alive. Let me see, I'm gonna go over here. If I were to sync the ads and then touch one of these in the list, this days views and all that kind of stuff or per hour, that would try to calculate that if it's been running that long. I just started this, so it won't have anything there. These dimmed out upload ad and delete ad, I've turned this feature off because it confuses the system. You can use this software only to upload and delete your ads, or you can use the website. But if you use this system, the website doesn't see it. Okay, so it confuses the system. And I only did this because, just between me and you, I had a pastor who had about 6 of these out in the field, but he had 3 in the church, or 4 in the church, and 2 in a strip club. So he wanted a way to upload his ads without anybody seeing it on the website. Don't ask me. That's his business. Anyway, I turned this off anyway so it doesn't confuse people. Moving over on the right hand side, you'll see that you can control whether it be a split screen, a full screen. Some people want full screen. Full screen is good if you're going to rotate your monitor, to a vertical mode, or is that vertical? Yeah, it's a vertical mode. Then you just have to also rotate your ads 90 degrees so they'll work. And you can push the time and all that kind of stuff off the screen so it can still work in that mode too. The next thing is underneath, it shows you what the actual the actual size of the screens. So when you make your ads, this gives it to you in pixels. So we know that that big ad is 1477, and you can just round it off by 697. I'll probably go back and change the software so it rounds these, doesn't show these numbers, these decimal numbers. And then the other side is 437 by the same 697. It's always the same height, but the width can change according to the size of the monitor, and it's a percentage of the screen. Next is check for new ads every 3 hours. This is set for 3 hours, but you can set this up to 12 or down to 1. The reason why I did that is because let's say you had one of these things and you put it in a cab or something like that that only gets updated once a day. Well, you can do that here and it only checks the internet, hours later. Or if you're like at an event or something like that and you're selling ads on a big display that you have at the event, you can make a check every hour and you can sell ads within the hour and they'll just show up. You can also upload an ad and then reset the ad server, which will make it instantly update. But this is if it's going to go and check its update on its own time schedule. Next is the ad display interval. That's how fast these ads change, the left and the right, in general. Normally, what you see out on the highway is about 6 seconds. So, I can take this down all the way to about 5 seconds. Too fast becomes crazy, and also nobody remembers it. I found out over the years that the longer you have it, the more effective your ads are, even though you won't show as many ads. Now, it does run on a random popcorn engine, which means that the ads don't run in series. It basically has ads sitting in like a bucket. It reaches in, shakes them, gets one ad out. If it didn't see it within 60 seconds, it throws it away. It'll show it. If it did see it in 6 seconds, throw it away and get another one. I found that randomizing your ads work a whole lot better for humans than something in a linear function. If you have a linear function, what happens with humans are, once they see the pattern, they don't look at the screen no more. I learned that over years of working with this stuff. The next thing you have here is, I added this not too long ago, is the fact that you can turn on hourly news and hourly weather, or one or both. You just need the URL for that. And I have a place that you can go and get the streams that will show these. And you just paste it in here, turn it on, update your settings, and then every hour, whichever one is turned on, if both, it would show them in between your ads. And then when they go off, your ads continue after that. The next thing underneath is you can also stream Shoutcast radio. Why'd I add this? Because some locations want to have ambient music, but they don't want to pay the ASCAP to have it in their store because they're a business. Well, I made this so if you have one of these in here, you can connect your speakers to your TV or whatever, and it will stream whatever channel that you want. There's millions of channels they have over there, and it's totally free. And If a video comes up in between it, it turns off the radio, plays the video, and when the video is done, it turns the radio back on. And you can test that here. So I can like, see, this might be a good stream. I don't know. Let's test it and see. You might not be able to hear it, but you'll be able to see if it's working. Yeah, it's working. So anyway, you can test it here, and then if it works, then you're good. Okay. Now, if you turn this on, it will always be on, and in between, if a video is not playing, it'll just be playing. Turn it off and save it. It won't show up. The next thing down here is restart, or set the restart. Because it's Windows or any system, really, you produce a lot of garbage files. And what this does allow the system to reset itself, before midnight to be clean again. Okay, and you can set that time. See what else we got. Like I say, you can reset the ad server with this. Whatever server you're touching, you can reset it, or you can reset all your servers in the network. Now, a really good feature I love, which took me a long time to figure out how to do. And before I even talk about that, let me look at the scrolling words and the static words. That's this right here. And I don't know if you can see my mouse. You guys can see my mouse, right?
Yes, we can see the mouse.
Okay, good. So if you click this, it allows you to type in whatever you want. Say, okay, click that one, type in whatever you want. And that can be really long because it scrolls. Click OK, and then when you're done with that, you can just update it. I also added the fact you can change the background colors and the foreground color of each one of those with this little C on the side. Okay, somebody wanted that. Somebody wanted me to change fonts too. I'm not doing that right now. That became a headache. And then whenever you do any of this stuff, just hit update settings, and within its check for new ad time, it'll go get it. Or if you hit reset, it'll get it immediately. Okay. Now this reset all does not save to all. So if you hit update settings, it only updates to the one you're connected to, because your machines can be all different all over the place. They're totally independent. Even these locations like this area and that area are independent. They don't know each one exists. They're totally independent of each other, even though it's in the same box. All right, now this area over here I like pretty much. This area will allow you to test a video URL from YouTube or Vimeo or any place really. So let me go ahead and see if I can show you that without killing my system. Okay, good. Let me go to YouTube or something. And by the way, I also rip out the commercials too. Don't tell nobody. So let's find a YouTube. Oh, let me back up too. When you use YouTube, all YouTube videos will not run remotely. And you don't know that until you test it. That's why I give you that test. Because you can set up YouTube so that videos won't run outside of the YouTube URL. Okay, so it also can't be shared. So let's find something that I know would be, that probably is shareable. Here's Deadpool. Let me see if this will work. All right, notice how it comes up with a commercial. I'm going to go and take this URL up here, which is the actual YouTube URL. And let me see if I can go back to this software. Okay. Just take that URL and paste it in here and play it. If it works, it'll stream here. And notice, there it is. Okay, no commercials, no nothing. Now I hear it. You might not be able to hear it, but I hear it. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop that. If you like that and you want to go live with this, it can be a live, it could be a YouTube go live thing on your phone. And you could just go here and say, go live. It's going to send it to the system that you're connected to, which is 05. Now, if I can see it, let me see if I can get to it without killing everything. All right, so we just sent it live. Notice on the left-hand side, you won't see my mouse here, but on the left-hand side, there's a little asterisk that shows up underneath the ad. That's a heartbeat for looking for live things. Okay. See, I just saw something. Remember, I just sent a live command out there. See that? So this machine could be out in the barbershop or wherever you got it, and you just now sent live video out there to it. So in a nutshell, let me turn this thing off. Let me turn the volume down. It's in my ears, boy. Whew. So look at the power of this. People don't get this. Let's say you have these machines out in the world. You have the ability to go live with these machines at any time. It's like having closed circuit television, like ABC, CBS, NBC, anytime you want. And then when it gets done, it'll just go back to being a billboard. Or you can do it completely live and it'll never stop until you stop it. Okay? And the way to stop it is, and let me show you how to do that, because it's going to stop on its own, but I'm going to try to get it before it does it on its own. So where's my mouse? There we go. So if I want this one to stop, even though I sent that video out there, I don't know how long it was, I can just say reset that ad server. Okay. Let me go back. Now watch on the left-hand side again. You'll see a little heartbeat. There's the heartbeat. It says, oh, I might have found, there's something coming down the pipe. And boom. See that? Put a little exclamation point. It reset itself. I just sent the reset command to it so that it would kill itself from that live stream. Okay. Let me show you something else. Go back. Now remember, I'm acting as if this machine's out in the real world, but I'm really using the same machine to do them both. Another thing I can do, let's say I have, excuse me. We're all just getting over COVID, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but so my dad's coughing in the background. He had a positive. I had a negative. I must have got it before him. But we're getting over this COVID stuff. Let's say you got 100 machines in your network. You put that URL right there, and you can say go live to one, which you're connected to, or you can say to all. And every machine in your network will start showing that video. Now that's a recorded video. It could be a live video, like you just have your phone walking around doing some sports thing or whatever it is. It could be totally live. And when you're done, you kill the live stream. The system sees that it's killed and they all stop and go back to being a billboard. Okay. Any questions on that part?
You said it works for Vimeo also,
Right.
the normal
All right,
Vimeo?
so let me continue over here. So any URL here, you could put in here, as long as it's some kind of stream. And I have a website that has so many of them, sort of, from the dark web, but there's streams for all kind of things. Movies, you name it, just all kind of stuff. I added some little features here, like that you can clear this area, because I hated like having to erase it all, because sometimes the URLs are like longer than the whole screen. So I just hit the little clear, and I can just put a new and paste it back in, some new one. Another thing you can do here is under YouTube videos, I made it so that, let me back up. Let me not go too fast. Now, this thing uses static ads, but the static ads in the naming convention have programmable type of functions. Okay. For instance, let's say I wanted to use that URL, this YouTube video, and I wanted it to be an ad in the system that comes up randomly and shows the video. Well, what you do is you take that URL, go to this little feature, paste in the URL that you want. You can test it here also to make sure it works, and it does. Okay. And if I want to make a random video out of it, I just hit this. This is what you would name that image that you create that would represent that YouTube video that would come up randomly in the system. So the way I have it set up is that static ads come up, and after 5 or 6 static ads. It'll check to see if there's any random video ads. And I did that so they could break up the ads so people will look at the system. What I normally put in there are things like these trailers. I'll put in things like comedy or whatever, little small skits that really don't need sound at all, like from gags on YouTube. They're sort of like silent gags, even though they got music running. You don't need to hear it to see the gag. And what it does is it breaks up those ads, and people will just keep looking at the screen. I remember I told you I've done this for years, and I've learned that if you break it up where it's not linear, you keep people focused on it. Okay. Now there's other ways you can make these static images turn into programmable videos. And that is, you can make it so that the video comes up on a certain day and time. I mean, very specific day and time, hour, minute, and all that stuff, or every day at a specific time. So I click this. Let's say I wanted it to come up, this video to come up at, let's see, 5 o'clock. Let me see what this says here. Start time, blah, 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 blah. And make it a PM. And I don't need any seconds or minutes. And on, I'm gonna have to increase that, huh? Let's see, March the 1st. Let's see here. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing with my own stuff. And it's going to run for, I don't know, it might have been a 3-minute video. Let's say it's for 3 minutes or something. Okay, that's pretty long for a video, but let's say it was 3 minutes and 0 seconds. And then if I hit this right here, that's what you would name that image. See, it has the H prefix, which means it knows it's going to be one of these hourly program things. It gives me the dates, the time, AM, PM. This right here is the actual YouTube video ID, and it's going to run for 3 minutes. And it's an image. So when that random image comes up, it goes, oh, hey, wait a minute. This is not just an image. This is something that says to go grab this YouTube video and play it on this certain day and time. Okay. Now, if you wanted to play every day at a certain time, then we just hit this. It takes out the date, and there's your time and how long it runs. But it's still random at this point because there's no date in it. Okay. It's every day. It's not random, actually. It's every day at 5 o'clock. Now, what I use these for is some people will pay to have their own little TV shows, since this thing works like television. So I'll charge them for a 15-minute show, and this show will come up every, let's say, 5 o'clock and run for however long it is, and I charge them accordingly. Okay. So that's some of the things. Now, I try to help you out with this, but there's a million other things, not million, but a lot of other things that you can do program with these images, and they're on the website actually. So that's another little feature here. See what else we got. The other thing is trigger test. So we could use this to test an image to see if it will work on a billboard. So we'll just go in here. I got some sample images. Here's a Coca-Cola. Just open it and see it shows up. So if it shows up here, you know it'll work out there in the real world. Okay. What else we got? We can report the times. If I do this, it's going to check all my machines in the system and give me back a report on what they're doing. All right, so it shows I got 5 machines out there, and you know, whether they're checking in or whatever, what ads are on each one of them and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let me kill that now. And there's another thing you can do, which is check in times. This is sort of faster. And I think this just goes in and just checks to make sure if they've checked in or not. It's a good way to tell if you have a machine offline. See that? So it just shows you that they're either online or offline by how long they have not been on or off. See this one here? This one here says 1680 hours ago. Definitely ain't running. This was not running. That was not running. This was not running. That was not running. So look, ad server 5 is the only one running because it's checked in 0 hours ago. It's already checked in. There's no time lapse between the time it's checked in or not. I don't know if anybody even uses this stuff. And then help, of course, just takes you to the website on how to use all this stuff. Now let me log in and sync in with the ads. So I'm synced in with the list right now. I'm going to sync in with the ads. Oh, sync error.
Darnell, quick question, sir.
Why is that? I'll make sure I'm logged in. And it's 5. Okay. It must have lost itself. Oh, I know why I did. Because when I went through that test, it went through all the systems. No, that's something to remember, huh? All right, so what it's doing now is negotiated the system. Now it's downloading ads literally for real now on the left-hand side. You notice how this takes longer, so that's why I made the one that could just sync the list right quick. And it'll be done in a few seconds here. There's a lot of ads in there. Huh. I didn't know there's that many ads in there. Wow. Oh, I know why. Look, it's synced from number 1. That's interesting, isn't it? I must never click this when I sync it. But that's okay because it's connected to 5 right now. I didn't actually sync to 5. It's synced actually to 1 right now. But that's good because I have some stuff in there. So let's scroll up. If I touch one of these, see how it shows that this is over at the marketplace. What's a market? You know, one of those indoor markets for the Amish. I'm up in Pennsylvania, so we have Amish markets. So it's showing some of the pictures and that's in there. This weather thing, I have that's another thing. See that it says W underscore? Anything with a W underscore brings in a weather system. Oh, let me kill that. And it tries to catch it by the IP address. This one actually did catch it by the IP address. School. And let's go down to some GIF files and notice those are changing over there. See? So we know they're working, right? So it's just a way to test your ads to make sure that they're working. And notice this has either $15 a month. This place is only open 1 day a week. I mean, 1 day. Yeah, only open on Friday. So I made it pretty cheap. Plus, I know the guy. What I didn't go over was the split screen and non-split screen. If I wanted to turn this to a full screen right quick, I could just hit this button here, update the settings, reset it. Instead of waiting for that hour, I send a reset command and watch what it does. It'll take, oh, you know what? I forgot I'm not synced to this one here. Let me go ahead and sync to this one. I go back and turn that with the dual screen over there too while I'm at it. Let's see. Or Friday to wake up to full screen. All right, so now I can say full screen, update it, reset it. Now we'll just sit back and wait. Remember, over in this left-hand corner, I can't put my mouse up there because it makes it disappear. A little asterisk. That asterisk is beating. It's like a heartbeat every 30 seconds, looking to see if I've sent something that's live. Else it'll just look every hour. So let's wait here. And it'll come up here in a second. There it is. And it should reset itself. Exclamation point, it's resetting itself. That's going to get the settings. The G stands for good internet. The I stands for bad internet. I have to do that because you don't want your customers to know that there's errors out there. And if the internet's lost in between this, it'll just keep running. It just won't get any updates. Now watch this. It's going to go ahead and throw away the right side. So see, if you can see that in the background, see it's full screen now. I'll just go put it back a while. I'll reset it and we'll just talk about it here. So that's basically all there is here to this. Like I said, if you put in a URL here for the news or for whatever, I put news and news and weather, but it literally could be any URL. It could be your own commercial that comes up every hour on the hour about using the system, about, getting your ads in the system. I never even thought about that, but that's really a good thing to do. So just a call to action, hey, get your ad here for so-and-so price, blah, 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 or whatever. So I might start using that feature actually. All right, so now we went over the desktop control panel thing. It just controls your system, setting it up and different live commands and stuff like that, okay? Now I'm gonna go to where you actually put the ads in place. Any questions so far? Notice how it went back to split screen. You see that?
Darnell, can you hear me, sir?
No questions?
Darnell,
All right.
can you hear me?
Either I'm doing something right or everybody went to sleep. So
Darnell,
let me,
Darnell,
I'm going to get
Can you hear
out
me?
of this software. Let me just click on that and get rid of it.
Darnell, can you hear
Okay,
us?
because normally there's no keyboard on your system, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you did have a keyboard, that's how you can get out. All right, so there's an area that you control your ads with,
Darnell.
and that is this website.
Darnell, can you
So
hear
when
me?
you get a system,
Darnell.
you have a login, or give you a login. Oh,
Oh,
I see
excuse me.
something here. Oh, boy, I didn't see all this chat stuff. Hold on once. Let me pause. See what we got here. Yes, this will still be available. I'm recording it. Okay. Warming up. Let's see. Reminder.
Can you hear us, Darnell?
Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
that is in the background. I see.
Paula, you hearing me?
Let me see who said that. Paul. No, I couldn't hear you at that moment.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, you know why I couldn't hear you? Because I have the sound turned down. Because that thing was
Paul,
running. That's
can
my
you hear
fault.
me, Paul?
Yeah, I can hear everybody, Darnell. You
Okay.
just
So if you
couldn't hear
guys
me.
are saying
Okay,
something,
well,
you
I
probably
was
couldn't hear
testing
me.
mine, and I figured
Sorry
if I
about that, Paul. All right, somebody said stop. What did I miss?
Oh, a couple of us
People
had
have questions. Stop. Okay. What are the questions?
Quick question on the YouTube ad manager.
I can hear you now.
The YouTube ad manager section, where the YouTube video ads. I assume that you could actually create your own little, music video channel using.
Still
that.
there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Darnell, can you hear us?
People still there. Let me
Can
see.
anybody hear me?
Maybe I'm not hearing anybody. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Let me see if one of you guys say something I can hear you, because I had my sound down from that thing playing too loud.
Can you hear me?
Somebody say something.
Test, test.
Hello?
Anybody.
Test, test, test.
So you guys are actually saying something right now.
Correct.
Wow, I can't hear anything. Why is that? Nope, I can't hear a thing. Who's actually talking? Paul?
I was
Let me
talking.
see here.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
It says, where's Paul?
Right here.
Yes, unmute.
Test.
I'll tell you, I don't like this thing.
Can you hear
I
me
cannot
now?
hear anything.
We can hear everybody. Even
Let's
you.
see. It says you're muted.
Nope.
Darnell, can you hear me? Darnell, you were hearing me before. Can you hear me now?
Okay, now say something. It's unmuted.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me,
me?
Darnell?
Test.
Darnell.
Nope, I don't hear a thing.
Hmm.
So I don't know what's going on here. Let me unplug my deal and see. Say something now.
Test.
Oh, it's working now.
Okay.
It's Windows for you, sir.
Say it again.
That's Windows operating system for you.
I'll be damned.
Try.
My headset for some reason is not working. I try to put that on so that you wouldn't hear the background. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if the other one will work. Say something now.
Test.
Test.
Okay. All right, I know what the problem is. So we'll have to stay with the open mic. For some reason, once I went low, it disabled the ability to use the external microphone. It's only using the internal one for some reason. I remember there was a bug with Zoom a long time ago like that. Apparently it's not fixed. So I can hear you now. So let her rip before I get into this other part.
Just a real quick question from me. The YouTube video ads section, so you could actually use that to create your own music video channel if you wanted then, correct?
You sure do. And as a matter of fact, we have a person in New York who has machines in, I think, let me see, how many? 20, 10 or 20 grocery stores. And what he does is he runs the groceries, their own commercials, and he charges people to run their videos, their music videos in the grocery store, which I think is probably a little iffy, just in case what comes out with the F word or some other kind of word somebody don't want to hear. But anyway, yeah, he does that. But yeah, I mean, you could have this thing in a barber shop and it's just running, music videos all day long.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, this is Rob. I have a question. What if I see you coming off the YouTube, if you have videos done in a file form, do you have to transition them over to a YouTube page and then pull it that way? Or can like an MP, whatever they are, the MP4 files or whatever, be put directly into the system?
You literally can put them directly in the system, but remember that these ad servers only have, depending on which one you have, the 32 gig or 64 gig space. So, I mean, it can. If you upload them, of course, it will run them, and it will run them locally so that if the internet's gone, it'll still run the videos, okay? The bad thing about it is it burns up a whole lot of bandwidth on your own machine. So what I did was I made it so you could play from any of these free services, so you burn their bandwidth up instead of your own. Okay. That way, I mean, most of the time the internet is fine because people have to have the internet, to run their credit card machines, everything else. So it's really not an issue. But yeah, if you really wanted to do it, I would suggest you make a channel for your network, and then you get double advertisement. You upload the video to that YouTube channel, you turn off the monetization. Well, you can keep the monetization on because it's not going to show up on the ad server, and I rip the commercials out. You can make it visible or not. I would make it visible so they just get more views, from that channel, that ad channel. And then also people see that you have an ad channel, and they might contact you from YouTube to put their stuff on your billboards.
And then
just-
from that ad channel, pull it into the system for the individual locations?
You got it. Yeah, because you can, it doesn't matter. It can stay in one location, go to, hundreds of ad servers. But YouTube is footing the bill.
Okay,
And that works also with Vimeo or whoever else. As long as you got a URL for the video, the system will play it.
gotcha. And doing it that way, you're gonna alleviate bogging down the space on your own side.
You got it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Oh, yeah, Eric, you're right. Yeah, I turned down the sound so it would blow me out, but then I broke it while I was doing it. But yeah, you're right. Any other questions so far? I went over a lot of stuff and didn't even notice somebody was saying something. So no other questions? All right. So let me then go on to how you upload the ads to the system. So remember that, oh, there was something here. Oh, okay, Paul, cool. All right, this is my network. It's when I was a little heavier there. Lower hair, but my hair is big right now. That's why I ain't definitely on the screen. But this is what it looks like inside. Basically, I try to use software that was real simple in people's minds. I have 80-year-old people to use this machine, down to 20-year-olds. I have one 20-year-old that makes a little over $25,000 a month on his billboards, which is, I wish I was doing that. Anyway, remember that first machine we were looking at? It had all the ads. That's the market right there. So the way you look at these are, there's two holding places or two galleries for each machine, or two albums, let's say. So this would be the right side, which is the big side, and this would be the sponsor side. And normally I'd put these on the screen so you can tell which side it is, okay? But I actually named it East Market, sponsor East Market. So if I go in here, you can see those are the thumbnail representations of the ads that are in the system, okay? If I click on those thumbnails, I can see what they look like. It gets bigger and bigger because this is the real size that it's using. This is bigger size, which is what, 1183 by 575. Okay. I just did these for these ladies, something simple. And the way you upload ad here, once you're inside this album, then you can say add item, and then just choose your file. Let me go to some sample ad, and just pick up ad and upload it. Okay, I'm not going to do it though. And then within an hour, well, depending on where it's at, looking at updates, it'll just show up on its own. Then if the people stop paying and their time is up, well, you just go right here to that ad. Matter of fact, there's an ad I want to get out of here too. Let me go look here. Let me see. Thanksgiving needs to go. So let me delete that photo. Just delete the photo. And it's going to go away. They're supposed to tell me when they get rid of this stuff. Well, I'm not going to monitor it for them. This one is my my demo place. Let me see. I'm deleting all these. All right, so they're gone. And if I go back to that and go to the sponsor side, and I'll get rid of these ads are vertical. Delete that, and they're also GIF files. All right, so I get rid of that. So next time it updates, it'll be done. So bottom line is, you use JPEG files for the larger area, GIF files for the sponsor area. And it's that simple. The reason why I use these two formats, which are lowercase, because these are old formats for images, and they don't have the ability for hackers to store executables inside the image files, okay? So that's one of the reasons why I was an old hacker back in the days. I'm using a lot of little tricks that just trying to keep the thing safe. Okay. Yeah, that's my dad. So let's see here. There's not much to this except for you don't create albums. I do. So you never mess with an album per se, because that messes up the connection component to your ad servers. Okay. All right. You can also look in here, see other people's stuff. Because the way I designed this a long time ago is for people to be able to market between each other and share between each other. But I found out that people are viciously selfish. They don't want to share nothing. They don't want to be connected to nobody. So my whole idea just went to hell. So I had to go back and make it more independent. But yeah, people can still see stuff. So if I go let me go to the last thing here. Let me see. Like I can look at his. I know he normally has some good ones in here. Let's see if we can look at these ads. Let's see, that's a gag. Now, notice the name of that file. See, it's a V_. That's the ID right there for the YouTube, and it's running for 1 minute and 36 seconds. Okay, so when the system sees that, it knows that it's a video. Watch, I'm going to save this, so I can save the ad. Take it to my downloads. Run this software. We go File and go Trigger Test. Go to Downloads, and let's open and see what happens. See? See, there's no talking in here. Watch this guy, he freezes, look. Okay, so anyway. But so, people sit there and watch these ads and watch these little interludes. And in the meantime, then they can watch other stuff, the real ads. And they'll just keep coming back and looking. Notice there's quite a bit in here. He's got a lot of those in here, actually. All right. I don't want to pick on him too much. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we got here. I think, Rob, you're on here, right? So you haven't done nothing here. That's right. You said you took a break from the COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, I got with you, and then we extended it until June. So I started playing with it a couple months ago, but then put it aside.
Okay. Paul says, does a sound override on the video ad? No, it doesn't. Actually, what happens is if you're playing music or the radio, like you're saying, if a video comes up, it turns the radio off, plays the video sound, and then when the video goes off, it turns the radio back on. All right.
Now, I do have one question. I see the albums. Does all your sponsor ads go into one album and then you dissect it from there to each unit?
No. Actually, let's look at somebody who actually has that broken apart. If I go here to, let's see, I think Sarah, she's really blowing and going. She has, man, how many does she have? She has 16 machines. Okay.
Okay.
The DFW area. They're totally independent. So the ads that are in here have nothing to do with the ads over in, let's see how she's got her system. That's a sponsor for it. Here's a car wash. There's nothing to do with the ones in the car wash. It could be on the other side of town.
Okay, so how do I, you said you don't create an album, correct? So how,
Right.
how do I go from what you have on mine to setting them up for individual locations?
Well, if you were to do them on your own, you have to activate a system that you purchase. So I go and create the albums when we do the activation stuff.
I got you. Okay.
All right. And then I tell you how to set up your machine and follow these rules. And then once I set it up, then your machine will be active if you install the software properly. If you're getting it from me, I do all this stuff myself. And then
Those two areas under my name are actually for the system, the first system I have,
yeah, let's go back to that.
the only system.
Yeah, right. Let's see where you were. Which one was yours?
Up top, right there, Rob Cullen.
Okay. Yeah, so you basically have one system. So you notice
Exactly.
it's system one, sponsor one. Pointing to that side, pointing to this side. That represents one machine, even though the spaces are independent. They don't know each other exists.
No problem. And then can I rename the system one and sponsor one as we move forward?
Now you can go in here and edit the description. So if you go edit album, don't mess with this because remember that's your network.
Yeah.
That's the system right there. So you never mess with that or you'll break it. But you can change this stuff all you want. The title, the summary, the keywords, description, all that stuff. Don't change anything down below here though. You can also change the custom thumbnail for it. Like I use.
All right. So if each system that when you send out a system, you're going to put another album up under the under each one.
It'll be another two.
Okay,
so everyone
perfect.
You'll see two more, and they'll have this opposite, like left and right to them. Just like when you look at Sarah, I pick her because she has a lot of machines. Sarah. She's already learned how to go in and notice how she's went and changed the names of them.
Yeah.
She's actually really good. I mean, she got this thing down pat. She's just blowing and going. I think I just sent her 3 out a couple weeks ago. I mean, wherever she goes, they say yes. It's just that simple.
Cool.
So, I mean, what's this? Omega's biscuits and eggs. Let's see. See, she knows what she's doing, but I have no idea what she's doing. So here we go. Let's see here. Yep. So she's got 7 pages of ads in here. These things represent paid ads. You see what I'm saying? And some people, once they get going, they ain't playing around. Like, I think we have another one here. I think, what was his name? Some people really just take off. Yes. Let's see. Probably Dale. Yeah, Dale has a lot of machines. Let me see. He has 25 machines. So that's a lot to fool with for me, but anyway, we go first. So me, I have just my couple machines, and that's, I'm working. I ain't doing anymore. So it's basically it. That's where you control them. Now, another thing is if we go here to creating and managing ads, this is on the main website, by the way. Under help, under creating, I'm already there. I'll show you how to make ads here with this little video, but what you want to look at is ad types and controls. There's all these different type of ads. See, there's a U underscore. I never even talk about that one. U underscore makes it so that you can control an individual ad to stay on the screen longer or shorter. Okay, it's just basically the U and then how many seconds goes behind it, up to, I think, 60. The T, of course, is just T and whatever the file name is. W, R is for, what is R for? Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's for RSS feed. I did some of these things I'll remember myself. The V, of course, is the random videos. I'll show you how that works. There's a video for it. There's a VM, which works for Vimeo as a random video. It's a VS. Now these ones with the S's are complicated because they take two files. You first got to make an image file with the VS and a file name, and then how long it runs. That file name right there has to equal a text file that holds, right here, that holds the long URL that this thing's going to go grab. It's the only way I can sort of stick it in there and make it so the system can do it. So for instance, if you got a video that's stored on a server somewhere, like your own server, you can put it in like that. It's not YouTube, it's not Vimeo, it's its own thing. So that's what the VS will stand for. The H, of course, I showed you earlier how that works. The L is for live streaming stuff. So it takes the name of the text file that it needs to point to, because a live stream URL is so damn long. It could be twice the page length. And so it has to grab it like that. S is one you probably don't want to use. Once you put in an S underscore and a file name and then the text file that goes with it, once it locks in that, it don't come out. It stays that way forever. Now, the reason why I made that one is because I have people in Texas that use the system because they have TV channels of their own. They have to actually have a real TV channel. So they stream in their TV channels through the network. You don't have to use cable or anything. It goes through the network, through the system, and they can control ads inside the stream along with the ads on the side of the TV. It's a little complicated, but it works. And then, of course, the N, the P, and I think I got rid of, where's the others? Oh, no, I still got T, and I don't see A at all. So I don't have A anymore. But anyway, that shows you how all the other systems are. All right, any questions on this? I know we're running a little bit later. I'm going to go into the WordPress version, which is sort of quick. Let me see if I got to get back how do I get back to, okay, now I don't know how to get back to screen. Oh, there it is. I don't see any chats. Okay, good. All right. So let's look at the way you do it with WordPress. And I think I have it set up in here. Let me look at my system. So this is a WordPress site that I'm using. I'm a WordPress developer. Some of you guys remember because I used to do all those classes for years, 8, 9 years. All right, let's see if I even have it in this system. I do. So any WordPress site you can turn into a billboard system. It doesn't have the power that mine has, but it's not random, it's a lot of linear, but it still works. So what you want to do is download a plugin called Foyer. Okay, it's free. And the way it works is you create your slides, you create your channels, and then you create your displays. Channels are like a pack of slides. Displays are where you send this pack of slides to. Okay, so let's look at slides. So you just create individual slides all over the place, and let's look at one. And it's pretty powerful. I think it's really slow, but it's pretty powerful. You wouldn't want to do it all day. All right, so here's a little slide I created, and it's just has an image background. So you can change the format of the slide, your text. It can be a post, it can be an external website, it can be a PDF file, which I've tried. That sort of works weird. It can be a recent post, and the background can be image, video, or YouTube. The video is like a video that's on your own machine or YouTube. So you have the ability to sort of create some stuff. So you create all these slides, and then you go down here and look at channels. In a channel, if let's edit a channel. Let's see here. Channel 1. Channel 1, you pull in the individual slides. Okay, well, any channel, you can make whatever you want. It's just a pack of slides. Okay. Once you do that, you can go to displays. And you can send those pack of slides to a display. So here's display 1. Let's take a look at this. Display 1 has channel 1 in it. It can have any one of those channels you create. Those channels, remember, are packs of slides, right? This is the URL for it. See that right there? That URL, if you send this URL to a smart TV's browser, it becomes, I'm logged in, so you see that. You normally don't see that. When you're logged in, it'll show you like in a little window. Let me open up something that's not, or let me just log out, okay? Because there's nothing else to it. It's just this. Let me log out of the system. I got the URL.
You can just open up an incognito browser with that link.
Oh yeah, I could. Okay, let me do that. All right. Let me stop the other one. Let me get out of this one. And now I don't know where the other one is. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. It's still loading them. So I mean, this thing's sort of funny. So it caches it. Once it's cached and stored, then it'll go ahead and start the system. What I've noticed is this, though, is that what I've noticed is, see like that, there's these little things that happen that I don't like. Like for some reason, if it takes too long to stream something, whatever, it sort of throws up. But I mean, if you get it right, if you have the right TV, the right kind of stuff, it works pretty damn good. I'm just trying to load it right now. This one might have a lot of video in it. So I also noticed you put too much video in, it doesn't work quite right. I noticed also in incognito, the video doesn't automatically start for some reason. So I think it's turning off some of the little automatic stuff. See how it crashed, you know? But that's all you really need is the URL in a working browser. Let me see if I can do one like in Microsoft's stuff. Let me see how this works. No, thank you. See, look at that. It has an issue already. Let's see if I can get the secure socket off of it and see if it'll run. Nope, it automatically forced it back to secure. Let me see. See, I don't like the way I can't get to something here. Delete this right here. Okay, there we go. You saw my sound bar. My sound bar just came up. Hey, wait a minute. This thing might be able to go up higher now. Ooh, nope. Anyway, we go back to this. See, that one's not working. Back to this one. If I log out, it probably will work a little better. It's designed automatically to, if you're logged out, logged in, that you can see like a sample of it in a small window. So here it is, logged out, as if it's real. See if it tries to work. See, I just don't like the response of it. It's just, I just don't like it. There's all kind of things you can do. There's all kind of, billboard stuff out there, but they take like a month course to learn. See how this is not loading automatically, or it's caching it. See, it crashed. See, yeah, it could be that what I'm using in there doesn't work anymore because I did this a long time ago. But anyway, that's all there is to it.
I have a question. Where would this come into play? Like what?
It would be good in your office. Like if you had an office and you had a little billboard up and people were in their waiting room, you could use it from there. The bottom line is, if you don't use an ad server like I'm using now, you can use it with a TV by using the WordPress version. I don't like it too much, but it does work once you get it all, the kinks worked out of it.
But if all of them are on an ad server, this isn't something that we would really have to concern ourselves with, correct?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But I try to do everything I do. I try to see how I could do it in WordPress. Like I even made a version of the desktop control panel through WordPress. But with my first person I tried it with, it was so complicated for him that I just said, I ain't going to go through this with 300 people using this machine. I have enough people having an issue trying to create an ad using the prefixes and stuff. Even though I have videos and everything else, it's still a little learning curve. It just was making more work for myself. All right, any other questions?
Can you give us access to the list of live stream servers?
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I have them right on here somewhere. Let's see. Here we go. This is badass, I'm telling you. Look at this. From anywhere you want to go. Let's talk about America. You got to go through these ads, but look at this stuff. Let's say you wanted, let's see, let's find something. Look, that's 96 pages, 196 pages of them, just for the America stuff. Let's see, let's find something that's makes sense. Like you can search, let's find something like news. Oh, now why can't you find news? I never used the search part. All right, here's United States. Here's smart TV stuff. All right, so they changed this a little bit too. Used to be they had every last individual thing listed. Now it looks like you gotta download the actual list. So let's just look at one of these. Let's see. You need to look at it as in a text file. So let me download it. And we'll use a download. And I want to open this up, but I want to use it with not this. Not this. How do I get out of here? Where is that? See, I can't get to the close. So now what I want to do is use a text box. Open that same file. Downloads. And instead of text, we'll look at everything. See that right here? Look at this. So it says what network it is, and there's the stream for it. Let's find one. Let's just open this up. Open this up, and this is how you can test it. Clear it, put it in, play it, and see if it works. Some don't work, some are out of date. I mean, you got to go through this stuff. See, that one's not playing. If it doesn't play within a few seconds, it ain't working. So let's go to something that might be working. I know that ain't gonna be right. WWE Network, I doubt it. Let me see. If they did, that would be terrible. My dad's listening. I'm watching that right now over there. So anyway, this one, I mean, what is this here? Classic VH1. Let me see. I don't see any that work so far. They changed it up a little bit. It used to have it where you just look at each one, you can just pull it. It just had a way to you say play and everything. So you can test it right at the website level. Let's see here. IPTV worldwide. Yeah, they made this very different. Normally you could just click on it and you would play it. They changed this. Asia. So many of these things. So now you have to download that, open it up in a text file, and look at each one of the streams. Now I have also, because I went through this quite a bit at one time. Let me open up another one I have locally on my machine. Let's see. Live streams, channels. Like, let me see here. Hallmark TV. Let's look at that one. See how long that file is? That's why you have to save these as individual files because they're so, the URL is so long. And let's see if that works. Clear it, paste it, play it, see if it works. Seems like that might have died too. That's why I don't use these permanent ones too much at all. Let's look at another one. I know that Buzzer TV works. Weird channel. Huh. Can't believe they don't work. That's interesting. That died too. All right, let's try another one. Let's see. These things are so iffy. Here's one that works.
Found his wife Wendy a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Select quote.
So this allows you to test them. Anyway, so that's why, I mean, it's not a lot of power, but it's a lot of work when you're trying to find, you know, streams that you want to use, like for news and weather and all that kind of stuff. And that's how I found these. That's where I found the news and the weather here, which I don't have on that one. I think if I sync it to this one, let's see, I think I can show you one. Let's see, there we go. So that's hourly news, hourly weather. Let's see if they work. This one's news, so we can just test it here. See if it works.
By punching in a list of phone numbers.
See, that's Shadow News is what that is. All right, so
smack in the middle of both categories.
What it did was it sensed there was a higher resolution, so it reset itself to high res.
These were the two.
Let's check the weather. Clear that, put this in here. And there's weather.
The Earth's surface, consisting of trees, plants, and soil,
it might reset itself if the census is high
between 10
res.
and 30% of the sun's incoming energy. This is referred to as Earth's albedo, or the.
Anyway, you get the gist of it, right? All right, this URL, see, is where you can find all that stuff. Let me see how can I do that. I can go to chat, post that to everybody. That's that link. Very valuable link. You know, this link will also work with your Roku and all these other things. They can download software where you can upload these channels, and you have those channels too while they last. All right. Any other questions? That's really about it. I can't believe you guys are still hanging in there. Any questions?
Yeah. Where can we order a system?
Oh, you can do that right here too. That's right on digital advertising media. I'm getting worn down. Let's see. Right here. Or you can just go to the web and let me show you. Let's try eBay. And you want to get, depending on what kind you want. I use the, what do you call them? Sticks. Let me see, Intel. I think they're called, there it is, compute sticks. Well, that was cheap, 26 bucks. But here's one, there's $74. Let me see. You just gotta make sure it's Windows based.
Yeah, but I want one that you're gonna set up. How do I do that?
Oh, yeah, if you're gonna set it up, then if I'm gonna set it up, then you get it from here. Like right on the front page, I think I got a place for it. Business in the box. Why did that open up in another window? That's weird. There's a lot of weird things going on lately. So that's business in the box where you just start the business from $199 to $348. I build the website and all that stuff for you. Or you go to ad servers, because I'm gonna charge you for doing the work. That's why I give people options to get rid of my labor. Let's see. There's one right there. I just got these in. These are actually, they look small, but they ain't that small. But let's see.
Where are you finding all this stuff? I'm looking through this site.
Oh, for this kind of stuff?
For ad servers, where you finding that at?
If you go under shop and just hit the shop, then you'll see all this stuff. All right. What? See all that stuff?
Oh. Yeah, but like I said, I would prefer you set the first one up for me.
That's what everybody does. They normally set up the first one, then after they get real comfortable, then they start saving money. I actually like this one better. It's small. It's about the size of a Bible, small Bible. But this one's pretty good because notice how this has got a lot of connections. Look at that. It has HDMI. It has a LAN connection. It's got Wi-Fi built into it. It's got SD card. It's got 4 or 5 USB slots. It also has a VGA connector. Can't find those too much anymore. It also comes with a little plate. See those little plates right here? So you can mount it against the wall or whatever. In this case, it's sized such that it can go into the holder in the back of a TV. But in this case, you're probably using that to hold the TV up on the wall. So I'd flip that around and mount it to the back of the wall.
All right.
Anyway.
I'll do some research. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all I do is research when I'm not teaching class. Any other questions? Kill this. Oh, let me go back and fix that one. Turn that back to split screen. All right. Other than that, there ain't much else to it. I mean, I do Roku channels and stuff and mix and match them too. So the same stuff you use on your billboard, you can push to your Roku channels. Let's see what else. Any other questions? All right. I'd say that's about it. It's probably a wrap. Let me stop the recording part.